This may be a quick video. I like promising that to my viewers instead of going off on a 60-minute rant about whatever I'm going through my headspace. So these are the bins I've emptied thus far. I think this is awesome. There's a long way to go. I still, as they say, have my 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 5 big bins, bigger than this one, of old layout stuff and builds that I just threw in a box years ago. I don't even know what's in there. So I just see a monorail motor, probably a few. So it is what it is, but I'm getting there. And overall, those things can stay because they're my. I like this is the problem with the English language and the way I use it. These are my pieces that I've had for a very, very long time. And I build something that I think is really, really cool. I take it to a few shows and it doesn't work, so I take it apart and I throw it in the bin. I don't fully take it apart. I'll get around to it. So those are my pieces. The pieces that I've been watching, they're also now my pieces, but I don't consider them my pieces as yet because they're not into the collection yet. So the pieces, so I differentiate between the pieces that haven't been rolled into the collection and used in something I built versus stuff that's always been in my collection and I've built with it. So those are my pieces. So I'm not too terribly concerned about getting them sorted out. And right now they're in bins, and bins have lids on them, so I can stack stuff on them. So the unsorted stuff that I got out of those lots that I've been posting, they're washed and they're still drying over there. There's lots of them. I did the first lot as I showed you, and it's really cool. This is the stuff, and I'm happy because again I was getting to the point where I had all these bins full of unsorted, unwashed bricks that haven't been brought into the collection yet. So it is a process. It is a lengthy, time-consuming process that many fans, adult fans, or even teen fans, or any fans of Lego face when they get a collection that grows out of a cardboard box. On that specific note, I remember as a kid, Brian, me, and Terry had our Lego collection, and it started my earliest memories. As I said, my brother's older than me, and he had Lego, and as I say, all my cousins had Lego, but that was their Lego, and our Lego was in our house. So we would get from 1972 to 1975, whatever, we would get a set or two. Each one of us would get a set. Terry didn't get it at first. Of course, she was, if I'm 5, she's 2. So she's not getting Lego at 2. But Brian and I would, Brian and me would get Lego. Brian and I would get Lego. So, and then we would, on Christmas or our birthday, we would, I got a Lego set, yay! And clothes and socks and whatever else. And then we would take the Lego out of the box, build the instructions. If it, I mean, the basic sets 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1, 3, 5, 7, and the other ones. But if it's a firehouse or if it was the quarry, I didn't have the quarry. But it was the Coast Guard guy. So we would build that, and then it'd be together for a while, and we'd have adventures with it, Brian and I. And then it would just come apart, and we had a cardboard box, a smallish cardboard box at the beginning that I remembered. And then as time progressed, that box got fuller and fuller and fuller. Then, and again, I haven't actually I don't think I've actually detailed specific details about this. About 1977, so I would have been 10, 9 or 10, yeah, probably around there. The big melt happened. And then basically 99.9% of our Lego collection was wiped out. Hurricane, big melt. We'll talk about that at some point. And so we had to start over when I was 10 with the Lego collection. Now, some very few pieces made it, were ignored and or lost during the big melt, and we just kind of found them because we had Lego in the house. So there's Lego underneath the bed, there was in the basement, whatever. So I remember vividly after the big melt, I found a 10 by 20 green base plate, woohoo! and a few other pieces, and then Mom took us shopping at Eastgate way back when Eastgate was cool. with the marshmallow seats around the orange and yellow, whatever. And it had the hexagon border on the roof. It used a hexagon structure to support the roof. And I thought that was an engineering marvel myself, even at the age of 10. Anyway, so Mom took us to Eastgate, not to keep on dwelling already 5 minutes in this. Mom took us to Eastgate, and she promised us after the big melt that every time we went to the store, she'd buy us a Lego set. So the very first time we went to the store, I got the police cruiser, the little black and whites that I made 12 of now. I remember vividly getting that. And then, so I had a 10 by 20 base plate at home, and I had the police cruiser at home, and a few other miscellaneous pieces that I found around the house at home. And I started just building with that. That's all I had for until Christmas, my birthday, in which I got the 854, the go-kart, and a few other miscellaneous sets, which is fantastic. So we started rebuilding our Lego collection at 10. When I was 10, Brian would have been 13. I don't think Brian was interested as much in Lego anymore. Terry was hardcore into Lego just like myself. So Terry and I started getting Lego sets, and we started building up. And there's I have a picture of Terry holding up Lego set number 6, which is a pretty big basic set. I don't know which Christmas that was. And I got the plane and whatever else. So life progressed after that, after the big melt. And again, cardboard box, all the pieces are in it. And then it got to be a bigger cardboard box, and I got a bigger, until I was about 13 or 14, as they said, when I stopped getting Lego from first Christmas. And Terry wasn't interested. So I don't think I don't think anybody got a Lego set for Christmas or their birthdays after 1980, when I was 13. But then as I said, I started buying my own, and of course the cardboard box would be in my room. Brian had his own room, and he wasn't interested in Lego, and I was still interested in Lego. So, and then we did Lego Wars, fantastic. So I kept on, and then of course when I got to the Lego Wars stage in 1984, 1985, the Lego collection wasn't fitting into one cardboard box, no matter how big it was. You could have got one that the furniture came in, but no. So by that time, I started really sorting out my pieces into specific functions and whatever. And then it just progressed from there. It just it got bigger, and the sorting got more complicated. And as they say, the beer money for Lego was right in there in 1985, 86. And then the ad and the paper, blah, blah. So I started getting whatever permanent totes I could find, permanent holders, because the cardboard boxes weren't doing it anymore. And I remember at one point, and this is probably pre-internet. So when I moved out on my own with my buddies, makes a lot of sense. When I moved into the house with my buddies, my Lego collection, most of it, I built a steamer chest as a woodworking project. And I lined it, this is funny, I lined it with an old duvet that I got a bunch of Christmases previous, Empire Strikes Back. It had R2-D2 and C-3PO and Darth Vader. It's a kind of a bluish, I could Google it and you'll see it, but it was a duvet cover for the bed, for my bed, and it was so threadbare by the time we were gonna throw it out. I decided I cut it up, and I used it for the insert padding of my steamer chest, my trunk. And the trunk was probably 4 feet, because I built things big back then, 3 to 4 feet by 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet. And that held, quote unquote, most of my Lego, and the Technic stuff was in a separate bin, but that's my steamer trunk. And then a quick tangent on that. I had that steamer trunk until I moved into this house, because I built it and I'm going to keep it, right? And it wasn't the best build in the world. My dad had ripped off the ceiling in the basement, and they had 1.5 by 3/4 inch wooden strips to staple the 1 by 1 felt tiles to. And so when he ripped those tiles, when we redid the basement when I was a kid, he had all these 1.5 by 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch strapping, and that's what I built the steamer trunk from. So it was fine. It lasted a long time. So I moved into this house with it. So it's like already 30 years old, minimum. I moved into this house. It came with me. By that time, it was really, really banged up. Because every time I moved, the steamer trunk with my Lego went with me. And by that time, my Lego was more that could fit into the steamer trunk, and I had like boxes plus the steamer trunk. And I got here and I had shelves and I had bought these things, and all of a sudden I had no more use for the steamer trunk. This is 30 years after I built it. And I said, I'm going to take that thing to Valley Village down the street, because get rid of it, right? And I don't want to burn it. I don't want to throw it out. It was a steamer trunk. It was a solid steamer trunk. It was the way I built it. It was pretty heavy, but it was a solid steamer trunk. I used rope handles like it should be in a ship, whatever. So I took it to Valley Village, and overall forgot about it. Hey, forget about it, right? So years go by. I'm over at a neighbor's place. I'm over at the neighbor's place, at least half a decade after the fact. And probably closer to a decade after the fact. And he's, hey, Joe, I don't know his name. You don't need to know his name. Dave, I have something in my garage that I need you to look at. Okay, I go in this garage, and there's my steamer trunk. I said, hey, Joe, where'd you get it? Oh, I bought it at Valley Village a bunch of years back because I needed something. I needed something to use for storage. I'm going, huh. Anyway. That was funny. So I don't know if he still has it, because whatever, but it was ironic and cute that I found my neighbor bought my steamer trunk from Valley Village. So anywho, so I got here and I started using these guys. I used to have the pullouts, the Home Sense, whatever. My friend Janie uses them basically exclusively. It's fantastic. I had a wall of those. I had 16 stats, the 3 big drawers and the 2 small drawers. I had those lining the back wall in the basement. That worked well, but it wasn't minute enough, specific enough. And then I was still using Ziplocs inside those drawers. When I went to this guy, this almost got it perfect, because these things are a buck a piece. Like seriously, these shoe boxes are a buck a piece. And my Lego collection was so big that it was minute enough or specific enough that I can just put one set of bricks, one type of bricks, one function of bricks in one of these things. And then, as I say, if it gets full, they get sorted out again into something smaller. And that's been working out well for me. My buddy Jeff buys the Plano boxes or whatever, the ones with all the little inserts, and you can make them very, very specified. And I adore that sorting system. I just right now don't have the time or the patience for it, and nor do I have the space, because there's a lot of air volume in that sorting system. And if I had a big basement, I'm jumping on that tomorrow. But I don't have that. I have this, and so density of bricks, this is perfect. The density of bricks per holder, whatever. So this is where I am right now. I have one more bunch of bricks to sort out from a used lot that we got from Valley Village and elsewhere. That's going to take me a while, because it took 2 sinks full to wash it all, so it's a lot. And then what I'm going to be doing, besides building, like fun stuff, I'm going to sort out the colors that I'd never sorted out before. I started with brown, because again, brown's been around for a long time. The new brown, forget that, but the old brown has been around for a long time, so I got that partially sorted. Tan is sorted. Orange is definitely sorted, because I had to, but I got a whole bunch more orange now. But I'm gonna get into the sand green. No, I'm gonna have a tough time with it because of my color blindness. So, but I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm probably gonna be making some videos about that. But that's what I'm gonna be doing. So this is where I am right now, and I thought I'd share that with you on this beautiful, beautiful Monday, right before we go for a wonderful hike out there in the beautiful day. So I'm gonna go do that now. Nice 14-minute video. To keep it short. I had something else to talk about, but that'll save it for another day. I think there was the I can't, wow, it just escaped my mind. A hammy hamster. That's a story for another day or something like that, the way they ended off every episode, but that's a story for another time. Yes, I did watch Hammy Hamster when I was a kid. A littlest hobo Hammy Hamster. Fine Canadian. I don't know if Hammy Hamster was Canadian. I might have been Canadian. I have no idea. I watched it. Anywho, enough tangents. I want everybody out there to have a nice holiday if you're Canadian. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you guys later.